Good evening, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. Wanted to get on and talk to everybody tonight about international labor unions in regards to the Administrative Procedures Act. And if you're taking notes, you will see in the top of the thing there, we're talking about Title I of the Code of Federal Regulations, Section 18.12. And if you look at that, you'll see it says preamble requirements. Now, the preamble requirements, if you recognize that language, preamble, just like in the preamble of the Constitution. And if you remember my videos in the past, I'm constantly talking about the law is to be uniform throughout all jurisdictions. So when we see Title I of the Code of Federal Regulations and we see preamble requirements, we can refer back to the preamble of the Constitution of the United States to get a uniformity of what they might be representing here, a way of interpreting it. And if we go about it with that mindset, it will oftentimes help you see what's actually being said. So you need to look at that. And then you'll see the next one is Title I of the Code of Federal Regulations, 18.20. And it says identification of subjects in agency regulations. And that's very important in regards to international labor unions. The Administrative Procedures Act. This is the part that's telling you what members are of that agency. It's identification of subjects in the agency regulations within here. Title I of the United States Code in regards to Title I of the Code of Federal Regulations is the general provisions of what? General provisions of the codes that follow. The United States Code. The United States Code is a set of agency regulations for the United States, a private member association conducting their own administrative procedures under the international labor union laws. Okay? This is the exact same way we need to set our stuff up. And the Administrative Procedures Act in the United States Code is listed at Title V, and that is the government organizations and employees. And it tells you their Administrative Procedures Act, which is in accordance with the international union labor laws. It's supposed to be uniform throughout all jurisdictions. So this is their administrative procedures as a labor union. And we'll get to talk about that here at the end. But if you look at Title V of the United States Code under the government organizations and employees at Section 551 through 559, that is your Administrative Procedures Act. And in that, we're going to point out to you, and you need to look at all the sections, but the ones I'm mentioning here tonight is 551, and it says definitions. Now, there's some particular definitions in there that I think people need to pay attention to, and that is agency proceeding, rulemaking, rule, order, adjudication, and party. And again, we're going to look at uniform throughout the jurisdictions. And when we see up above in Title I of the Code of Federal Regulations, it says subjects. That's the same thing as party. Those that are party to the regulations are subject to the regulations. And before I get any further, I want to talk about Title I of the Code of Federal Regulations, Part 51.9. And it says, what is the proper language of incorporation? And that's an important one for everybody to read in this. This is going to tell you who the agency is and what the proper language is. It's going to tell you their terms and conditions. Under Title V of the United States Code, Section 552, it says public information, agency rules, opinions, orders, records, and proceedings. In that, you're going to see hearings, presiding employees, personnel duties, burden of proof, evidence, record as basis of decision. The record is the basis of the decision. So if you're going to let them continue going by their record and keep entering documents and forms in their forms into their records, you're just giving them more records for them to base their decision on. You have to give them a private record. You have to take them to the private side and show them that that record isn't correct. It's false. And there we're going to go back to the Newman record. We've talked about that before. Under that, you're going to see it's going to mention employee, and then you don't ever see anything mentioned about employer. Why would they mention employee but not mention anything about employer? Well, again, they do. They just changed the word that they used for employer from employer to member. Just like they changed subject to party, they changed employee or employer to member. So when we look at member, the definition of member will tell you who the employee or employers are. Read that, because it's gonna be uniform here in a minute. Title V of the United States Code, Section 8401 and 8441 are both going to be definition sections. And in 8401, again, it talks about employee, but it doesn't mention, quote, employer. But it does mention employing agency. So now we're right back up to the second one, identification of subjects in agency regulations. So in Section 5, or Title 5 of the Code of Federal Regulations, Section 8401, you're going to see something in there that says employing agency. Click on that blue line, underlined, highlighted section and see what it says for employing agency. Because up here where it talks about member and it talks about Congress, down here where it says employing agency, it talks about the House of Representatives and the Senate, which makes up Congress. So think about this stuff, people. Think about it hard. Now, Title 29 of the Code of Federal Regulations, and again, just like the Code of Federal Regulations in Title I refers to Title I of the United States Code, Title 29 of the Code of Federal Regulations refers to Title 29 of the United States Code. The United States Code is going to describe certain things, whereas the Code of Federal Regulations is going to discern how it proceeds, how it's regulated. And under Title 29 of the Code of Federal Regulations, 18.12, says proceedings before administrative law judge. Then it makes a reference to the Administrative Procedures Act, 5 U.S.C. 556. When you read that section, you realize that the agency we're talking about that's administrating law is a private member association merely conducting the administrative procedures as they're allowed to under International Labor Union. Title 29 is the labor laws. So again, it's uniform, clarifying that they're a labor union, a private member association, abiding by administrative procedures. And that's all you got to do. Hop up to that international level, create your PMA under every man is worthy of his hire, International Union Labor Laws. Again, this is why Hoffa disappeared. Jimmy Hoffa disappeared because he was trying to explain to everybody you don't have to listen to any of these people. You have a right to put value to your own labor. You do not have to file anything in their union. Period. So anyway, I hope you guys do your research. When I get done here, my laptop crashed, so I couldn't put the link on there before I do the video. But as soon as I get the video uploaded again, I'll put the PayPal link for anybody that's interested in helping me out. I can use all the help I can get, and that's why I keep doing this. I hope you guys can put this together and realize who you really are. You're the agency of yourself. Quit being or acting or trying to be an agent of an international labor union that is never going to give you a benefit. You've got to take an oath to be an actual federal employee to take benefit. And you're not going to do that. And stay completely separate. Create your own. So remember, folks, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. So I'm going to keep doing it. Have a good night, everybody. I love you.